And thank you for standing with us as we continue this vital work. Thank you.
Truly so grateful to be a part of this with each and every one of you. And I'm
Extra push and support under this umbrella, you're able to achieve that and the impact they all make.
Oh honey, picture this. New York City, flashing lights bouncing off the red carpet, cameras popping like fireworks, everyone gasping and whispering, and right in the middle of it all, Meghan and Harry smiling for the world like the perfect fairy tale couple. But then, it happened. Out of nowhere, one single voice cuts through the chaos like a knife. Stop using our children. And just like that, Meghan's picture-perfect smile doesn't fade, it freezes. Harry's jaw tightens. Her hand grips his, not in love, but in panic. That wasn't a sweet couple's handhold. That was survival. The kind of tension you can feel even through the screen. The world thought they were watching a glamorous red carpet moment, but what they were really seeing? The exact second a fairy tale cracked, and every flashbulb caught it. But here's the real tea. This disaster didn't start in New York. Oh no, it started months earlier, in Paris, the city of love. Or in this case, the city of unraveling. So what on earth happened in Paris that led to this public implosion? Paris Fashion Week, the event every celebrity dreams of, the runway where reputations are made. This was supposed to be Meghan's big comeback, her grand re-entry into the high fashion world after everything that had gone down. Balenciaga, front row, every A-lister watching.
It's supposed to be a glamorous night. Glitzy lights, a humanitarian award, and a red carpet.
Every lens pointed her way, and honestly, the photos, stunning. She looked incredible. The lighting, the angles, the outfit, every inch screamed confidence and control. It was the moment the world was meant to think, she's back. There she was, sitting there in that flawless designer look, styled head to toe, the cameras flashing non-stop, like she'd never missed a beat. The energy in that room said power. People whispered, she still has it. Within hours, her pictures were everywhere. It looked like a total win, until you looked closer, because behind all that glamour, something wasn't right, something nobody wanted to talk about. Here's what people don't realize. That gorgeous outfit everyone was obsessing over, it was borrowed. Yep, borrowed. Not gifted, not sent for her to keep. It was returned after the show, tag still attached. Now to regular people, that might sound normal. But in fashion, that's a screaming red flag. It means the brand doesn't trust you yet. You're not their muse, you're not their face.
The gruesome twosome in New York on Thursday night, collecting yet another meaningless humanitarian.
You're a temporary photo op. When a label lets you borrow instead of own, it's their polite way of saying, we don't see you as one of us. In that world, it means they're not investing in you. You're not the ambassador. You're just the model for a night. They want the clothes back the second the lights go out. It's not power, it's pretense. It's desperation dressed in couture. Meghan's comeback moment wasn't built on influence. It was built on borrowed fabric and good lighting. It looked like success but felt hollow, like someone trying a little too hard to prove she still belonged. And the fashion world. Oh, they noticed. They always notice. But Paris wasn't done with her yet. Because during that same trip, Meghan made a decision that would change everything. Not just her image, but her marriage. She filmed at the Pont de l'Alma tunnel.
It's supposed to be a glamorous night. Glitzy lights, a humanitarian award, and a red carpet in New York.
Yes, that tunnel. The very place where Princess Diana lost her life. Harry's mother. His everything. Her team set up cameras, lighting, the whole production. Meghan, wrapped in a soft scarf, standing there with that practiced, gentle smile. She looked serene, reflective, almost saintly. The lighting was perfect. The angles were deliberate. It was all carefully crafted, as if they were capturing a deep, meaningful documentary moment. And the internet lost it. When the footage hit the web, the backlash was immediate and brutal. People were horrified. How could she? Flooded the comments. How could anyone turn that place into content? She tried to play innocent, claimed she didn't realize where she was, said it was just a coincidence. She had no idea it was that tunnel. Come on, this is Meghan Markle, the woman who studied Diana like a textbook. Every photo, every interview, every move. She knew that history backward and forward. She built half her image on that comparison, the modern Diana. So the idea that she didn't know, please, no one's buying it. She knew exactly what she was doing and what that location meant. But that's where the real tragedy comes in.
It's a humanitarian ward, and she does look glamorous. She did look smart. She looked tailored for a change. I thought she actually really...
Because to Meghan, it was symbolism, art even. But to Harry, it was sacred ground. For her, it was a cinematic tribute, a way to connect to Diana's legacy. For him, it was the site where his childhood ended in the worst possible way. To Meghan, it was content. To Harry, it was trauma. That's the difference. She saw lightning. He saw loss. And that's where the distance between them began. Not in some huge fight, but in a quiet, devastating realization that they weren't seeing life the same way anymore. When that video went viral, the world saw controversy. But behind closed doors, Harry saw betrayal. People say his off-camera reaction was volcanic. This wasn't royal composure. This was real, raw heartbreak. The kind of anger that shakes a person's soul. That night at the hotel, everything that had been boiling beneath the surface finally erupted.
Meghan Markle is the one collecting humanitarian awards. You can't make this up. She's collecting humanitarian awards.
Harry, usually so measured, so careful, finally snapped. He waited until they were alone. No cameras, no audience. And then he asked her the one question that had been burning inside him ever since he saw that footage. How could you do that? How could she turn the place that destroyed his childhood into a photo shoot? He wanted to understand. How did that idea even make it through her team? How did no one, stop and say, maybe not there? How did she stand in that spot, smile for a camera, and pretend it was just another picturesque moment in Paris? How could she, of all people, not feel what that place meant to him? He wanted an answer. He needed one. But what he got instead? Ice. Meghan didn't get defensive or cry or apologize. She just looked at him, calm, collected, and completely detached. And then she said the 5 words that ended everything between them. It's just a clip. It's not that deep. Those words hit him like a punch, because to her, that's all it was. Content. A video, engagement bait, something to keep her brand alive. But to him, it was his mother, his pain, his past, his everything. To her, it was just another clip for the algorithm. A bit of video content, something for Instagram, maybe YouTube. Another way to stay relevant, keep the conversation going. Keep her name trending. But to Harry, that tunnel wasn't a backdrop. It was his mother's grave in motion. It was the night the world took Diana away and turned him into a 12-year-old boy walking behind a coffin while cameras flashed like weapons. That tunnel didn't just hold grief, it held ghosts. And she turned it into an aesthetic. A scarf, a smile, and soft lighting over his trauma. It was the ultimate betrayal. Not out of malice, but out of complete emotional blindness. That line, "It's just a clip," didn't just hurt. It broke him. It hurt more than any headline. More than any paparazzi ambush, more than every nasty tabloid lie. Because those people didn't pretend to love him. They didn't call themselves his partner, his protector, his person. This came from her, the one who was supposed to understand. She didn't cry, she didn't flinch, she didn't even say she was sorry. To Meghan, it was just business. To Harry, it was everything that made him who he was. Dismissed like it was nothing. And when he realized she couldn't or wouldn't understand what that place meant, something inside him just switched off. After those 5 words, the fight ended. Not because they worked it out, but because he stopped trying. He went silent. And that silence, that cold, heavy quiet, was worse than any shouting match. Anyone who's been through heartbreak knows what that silence means. It's the moment you stop fighting for someone to see you. The moment love turns into survival. They weren't a team anymore. They were 2 people standing on opposite sides of the same room, surrounded by the echo of everything they didn't say. And from that night on, the silence followed them. Silence speaks louder than rage ever could. And by the time New York rolled around, the glitzy red carpet night we started with, that silence was deafening.
Imagine this, a sleek Manhattan hotel suite filled with stylists, assistants, and publicists. Meghan is getting ready.
They stepped out into the flashing chaos of cameras, playing their parts like professionals. Meghan glowing, smiling, radiating charm. Harry standing tall, smiling too, but only because he had to. Behind those smiles, a chasm. This was their big public reappearance, their proof that everything was fine. And from far away, maybe it looked like it. But up close, the cracks were visible. Watch the footage closely and it's all there. Harry subtly leaning away from her, just slightly, but enough. His body turned, his stance stiff, creating space. Meanwhile, Meghan leans in, trying to close that gap, trying to sell closeness that just isn't there anymore. His smile is polite, not warm, not joyful. His eyes don't match the curve of his mouth. That's not happiness, that's duty. She smiles for the cameras. He smiles to get through it. She's working the photographers. He's enduring them because everyone saw it. Everyone felt it. The fairy tale had shattered right there under the red carpet lights. Within hours, the clip went viral. Social media detectives dissected every frame, every blink, every breath, every twitch. Twitter lit up like wildfire, threads comparing their body language to old interviews, old smiles, old spark. TikTok slowed down the footage to half speed, then quarter speed. People zoomed in on his eyes, her hand, the space between them. Some called it the divorce glare, others, the hostage smile. And soon the memes rolled in, because that's how the internet declares the end of a fairy tale. There's the photos of Harry captioned, "Blink twice if you're trapped." Or, "This man is not okay." People edited Meghan's red carpet smile into horror movie posters, added creepy music to the background, made the footage look like a thriller trailer. And the comments? Oh, the comments. Brutal. If this were a Netflix show, one viral tweet said, it'd be called The Crown, The Breakup. And honestly, everyone agreed, because that's what it looked like. Not a couple in love, but the last episode before the credits roll. Behind palace doors, whispers grew louder. King Charles considering cutting ties, stripping titles, severing the last royal thread. For Meghan, that title is oxygen, her golden ticket in Hollywood. For Harry, it's all he has left of the world he gave up. So they stay, not out of love, but out of need. She clings for relevance. He clings for pride. Two people performing a marriage that ended long ago. Paris began it. New York exposed it. The cameras may stop flashing someday, but the whispers, oh, darling, those never will.